So when I talk authority, we're looking at two things in sociology. What authority does to leaders, and what the authority of leaders does to followers. So if you had to give me your best definition of what authority means, what would you say?
Someone that's in charge and people that listen to them.
In charge. They make the rules. Let's think of some examples of people who have authority. Can you think of any?
The president.
Good, definitely. He has authority over the country. Okay.
Governor.
Governors. Okay, I like it. Let's think on the smaller scale. Not just government, but what about like who has authority over our church?
Thomas S. Monson.
Mm-hmm. Who has authority in our families?
Our parents.
Parents. Who has authority if I work here at the tutoring center?
You.
Yeah. The tutor, I was more thinking like a boss, like in a job.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that much authority. Okay. Okay, so these are all definitely leaders. Now let's talk about some followers. Hang on real quick. All right, can you think of any followers? You can even go off of these. Would be good.
The whole country.
Yeah, so citizens of a country. Okay?
Mormons. Like how did?
Yeah. I'll just say LDS people.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Kids, children.
Kids, yep. And boss.
Employees.
Employees. Perfect. So here we've got our followers. Okay. So, what are some of the rules that presidents make for the citizens?
Healthcare.
Yeah. Where you can get your health care. How many taxes you have to pay. Now, of course, you know, this is checked and balanced by Congress and the House and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So, healthcare, taxes, what else?
Kind of everything. I feel
War.
War.
Yep, good. Yeah, everything for sure.
Yeah.
Same thing with governors, just for that specific state. Okay? So what about the prophet? What kind of things does he use his power to have us do?
Service.
Service.
The missionaries.
Yeah,
Food storage.
good. Word of wisdom. Yeah, good. And what about parents and kids? What do parents make their kids do?
Listen to them. Go to school.
Listen, go to school.
Obey them.
Yeah, go to bed on time, etc. They make rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then boss to employees. What are some things that boss controls or boss?
How much they get paid.
Mhm.
Their hours.
The rules of the workplace. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about some things. Let's go over some examples. So with authority, if you have too little, then it makes it too easy for these people to rebel. And if you have too much, then these people want to rebel even more and you're abusing your authority. Mm-hmm. So remember when we talked about conflict theory? That definitely applies into authority. Remember, the people that are leaders, they want to stay leaders. And the people that are over here, they usually want to have a little bit more control. Mm-hmm. So let's go through some examples. Recently, President Healthcare, he made some rules about having to have healthcare. Now, I don't really want to debate whether or not that was outside of his bounds to do, but he did it. How did the citizens feel?
They weren't happy.
Yeah, no. They were not happy. Okay, really quick lesson so the example makes sense to you. He basically said you have to have health insurance. We're doing this Obamacare thing, so it's going to be like universal health care. And if you don't have insurance, then you have to pay a fine for not having insurance.
Oh.
And it kind of worked with the whole private insurance and made it a big mess, and it was just crazy.
Okay.
So of course people aren't happy when they're like, no, I like my insurance the way it is, or what if I can't afford insurance, so then I have to pay a fine? Like, people don't like that. So what is the core of this problem? Like the big picture.
Kind of finding the balance or
Yeah.
making them happy.
Balance. Yeah, I like that word. So the problem here is that he overbalanced the power, which made these people want to fight his authority. So when you use authority too much as a leader, it causes a lack of balance, which causes big problems. Same thing with if you use it too little. The key for good authority and good followers is to use just enough and to really work with your followers. So here's a good example of that. The prophet and the LDS people. So a lot of the times employees can't control their hours, pay, or what they're allowed to work, or if they're allowed to eat at their desk, or things like that. Kids really don't have much of a say either, unfortunately. It's just one of the facts of life. So what about prophets and LDS people? What's one of the major, yes, he does ask us to do all these things, but what's the key word there?
What's that? Free agency kind of
Yeah, exactly. So he asks us. He makes suggestions. Basically, he tells us what's expected of us and then leaves us a lot of room to govern ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That creates a really healthy respect for his authority because he's not forcing anybody to do anything. His authority just gives him enough clout that people are like, you know what, he does know what he's talking about, so therefore I'm going to choose to do what he just suggested. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Any questions on authority?
Nope.
Cool.